The mall's fluorescent lights buzzed like tired insects, flickering faintly across polished tiles that reflected every hurried footstep, every impatient sigh, every careless glance. Daniel Hayes walked through those crowds with the quiet caution of a man who'd learned long ago that the world watched him differently. His worn jacket, frayed at the sleeves from years of washing and restitching, hung loose on his lean frame. His boots were scuffed, his hair hadn't seen a barber in months. But his grip on the tiny hand beside him was gentle, protective, steady. His 5-year-old daughter, Lily, hopped along, humming a tune only she understood. Her pink backpack bounced with every step, decorated with stickers she'd earned from kindergarten: a crooked star, a smiling cat, a crooked rainbow. Daniel squeezed her hand lightly every time someone brushed past. The mall was loud, and Lily hated loud places, but her shoes were falling apart, flapping open like tiny mouths, and payday was still 3 days away. Today wasn't about comfort, it was about necessity. "Daddy, can we look at the sparkly ones?" she asked, eyes wide with hope. Daniel smiled, though stress tugged at the corners of his mouth. "Of course, sweetheart." They stepped into the children's section of a store brighter and shinier than anything they could afford. Daniel always felt out of place in stores like this: brand names, price tags with too many digits, employees who looked at him as if he couldn't possibly belong. Still, he walked in with his head up, because Lily deserved at least the chance to choose. She ran ahead to a display of glittery shoes, gasping in delight. Daniel leaned down beside her, checking sizes, price tags, imagining how he'd stretch his paycheck this month. While Lily marveled at a pair with silver sequins, Daniel felt the prickling sensation of eyes on him. He looked up. A security guard stood near the entrance, arms crossed, gaze sharp. Another stood near the aisle, pretending to check shelves but watching him closely. Daniel exhaled. He'd been here before, too many times. In their eyes, he wasn't a father buying shoes. He was a suspect waiting to steal something. "Daddy, look." Lily tugged at him, holding up a stuffed unicorn toy she'd found. "Can I have this? It's so cute." Daniel smiled faintly. "Not today, sweetheart. Maybe next time." Lily nodded sadly, placing it back, or so Daniel thought. As she returned to admiring the shoes, Daniel's attention was pulled again by the guard's unblinking stares. He tried to shrug it off. He knelt down to help Lily try on a pair of purple sneakers. "Too tight," she giggled, wiggling her toes. "Okay," he chuckled. "Let's try another." Then came the sharp beep. The kind that silences an entire room. The kind that makes people turn and judge before knowing facts. Daniel froze. Lily froze. Alarms blared near the front. A guard stormed toward them. Before Daniel could even stand, the guard grabbed his arm. "Sir, step aside, now." Daniel instinctively shielded Lily with his body. "What's going on?" "We've been watching you since you walked in," the guard snapped. "Empty your pockets." "I didn't take anything." "Really? Then why did an item leave the shelf without being scanned?" Daniel's brow furrowed. "What item?" The guard reached toward Lily's backpack, and Daniel stiffened. "Don't grab her like that. We have probable cause." He yanked the backpack open. Inside, stuck between notebooks, was the stuffed unicorn Lily had admired earlier. Lily gasped, horrified. I didn't mean. Daddy, I forgot it was there." Daniel's heart clenched. His little girl wasn't a thief. She was 5. "It's a mistake," he said firmly. "She didn't intend to save it." The guard cut him off, voice dripping with disdain. "People like you always have excuses. People like you." Daniel felt the sting. Lily's eyes watered as she clung to his leg. "Daddy, am I in trouble?" "No, sweetheart," he whispered, trying to calm her trembling. More guards arrived. Customers stared. Some filmed. Voices whispered. "Probably stealing. Look at him." Knew he was suspicious. Daniel swallowed, shame and anger burning in his chest. He knew this scene too well. He was tired of being judged before being understood. One guard grabbed his arm harder. "You're coming with us." "Let go of me," Daniel said through clenched teeth. "I'm not leaving my daughter. Come quietly, or we'll stop." The single word sliced through the room like a command from the heavens. Everyone turned. A woman stepped forward. Calm, sharp, utterly composed. She wore simple clothes. Jeans, sweatshirt, sneakers. But the ID badge hanging from her neck gleamed with authority. Her posture radiated discipline. Her eyes, fierce, focused, held the guards in place. "Release him," she ordered. Daniel stared at her. He didn't recognize her. But the guards did. One stammered, "Miss Holtz, we didn't realize you were." She ignored him completely, stepping closer to Daniel. "Are you hurt?" Daniel blinked. "No, I'm fine." She nodded slightly before turning her glare to the guards. "You detained a father over a toy that fell into his child's bag. We saw him acting suspicious. You saw him being a parent." Her tone was icy. "And now you're about to be suspended for profiling and misconduct." The guards paled. But Daniel wasn't focused on them anymore. He was staring at her. Because she was now studying him with an expression he didn't understand. Something like recognition. Something like gratitude. Something like awe. "Daniel Hayes," she said softly, "I never thought I'd see you again." Daniel frowned. "Do I know you?" The woman's lips curved into a small, emotional smile. "You saved my life." Silence fell like a blanket over the store. Even Lily stopped crying, peeking curiously at the mysterious stranger. The guard nearest Daniel whispered, "You know him?" "Yes," she replied, her gaze steady. "This man is a hero." Daniel's heart thudded. Hero. Him. The woman stepped closer. "My name is Amelia Holtz," she said. "General Holtz's daughter." Gasps rippled through the room. The guards stiffened, suddenly sweating. Daniel's brows knitted. "General Holtz. As in?" "Yes," she confirmed. "The commander of the Western Strategic Division." Daniel blinked rapidly. "The highest-ranking general in 3 states. The name that carried weight like thunder." Amelia inhaled deeply. "And years ago, you saved me when no one else could." Daniel felt the world tilt beneath his feet. He searched her face, trying to pull a memory from the haze of years and trauma. But he couldn't. Yet something in her eyes told him she wasn't mistaken. Something told him this moment, this strange, impossible reunion, was only the beginning of a story far bigger than either of them had expected. Part 2. The memory didn't return all at once. It came in fragments, scattered images buried under exhaustion, fear, and years of being too busy surviving to look back. A burning vehicle, screams, sand whipping through the air. A girl, young, wounded, reaching out. His arms carrying someone through smoke. A name he never learned. A life he never thought about again. But Amelia had never forgotten. As the mall returned to its normal noise, Amelia guided Daniel and Lily toward a quiet corner of the store. "You were a civilian medic," she said softly. "Assigned to our convoy as emergency support." Daniel nodded slowly. "I remember. An attack. A roadside blast." "Yes." Her gaze dropped for a moment. "I was inside the second vehicle. The explosion overturned it. I was pinned, bleeding badly. The soldiers thought I was gone." Daniel felt a chill. He remembered that part. The desperation, the chaos. But not the faces. "You crawled through burning debris," she continued. "You dragged me out while the fire spread around us. You shielded me from gunfire with your own body. You carried me half a mile to safety." Lily looked up, amazed. "Daddy did that." Amelia smiled warmly at her. "Your daddy saved my life." Daniel swallowed hard. He had never been called a hero. Not once. Life after returning home had been bills, double shifts, and the quiet loneliness of raising a daughter alone. He had never felt extraordinary. But Amelia's voice made him feel, for the first time, that maybe the sacrifices he'd made weren't invisible after all. Amelia turned to the guards. Her posture straightened like a blade. "You owe this man an apology." The guards stumbled over their words, stuttering as they bowed their heads. "We're sorry, sir." Daniel didn't answer. He wasn't angry anymore, just tired and confused. Amelia faced him again. "The military tried to honor you," she said. "General Holtz submitted your name for a Medal of Valor." Daniel froze. "What? But you left the Corps immediately afterward. You disappeared. We couldn't track you. They assumed you wanted to disappear." Daniel exhaled shakily. "My wife had just died," he said quietly. I had a newborn. I couldn't stay overseas anymore. Amelia's expression softened painfully. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Lily tugged his sleeve. Daddy, you're really a hero. Daniel knelt beside her. Not a hero, sweetheart. Just someone who did what he had to. That's exactly what a hero is, Amelia said. Daniel looked up at her. Something in her eyes, respect, admiration, gratitude that bordered on something deeper, made his breath hitch. Why were you looking for me? He asked. Amelia smiled gently. Because my father still wants to give you your recognition. And because there's something else. Daniel raised a brow. Which is? A job, she said. A high-ranking position in emergency operations. Full benefits. Housing support. Flexible hours so you can be with Lily. You're one of the best medics my father ever read about. Daniel stared at her as if she'd offered him the moon. A good job. Stability. A chance to give Lily the life she deserved. Why me? He whispered. Amelia stepped closer. Because men like you are rare. Because you save people even when it costs you everything. Because you showed more courage than trained soldiers. And because. Her voice softened. I want to thank you properly. Daniel's breath caught. Lily looked between them curiously. Amelia bent down to Lily. How about we pick those sparkly shoes together? Lily giggled, nodding eagerly. Daniel watched them, his daughter laughing, Amelia smiling, and something inside him shifted, warm and unfamiliar. Hope. They walked down the aisle together. Onlookers watched with awe, some whispering regrets for having judged him moments earlier. The guards stepped back respectfully, as if making way for royalty. And Daniel, who had walked in feeling small, invisible, weighed down by life, now felt taller than he had in years. As Lily tried on her glittery shoes and Amelia knelt beside her, helping her buckle the straps, Daniel realized this wasn't just a moment of recognition. It was a turning point. A new chapter, maybe even the beginning of a bond he never expected. Amelia looked up at him, her smile warm and certain. And Daniel felt his heart, bruised by years of hardship, begin to beat with something new. Maybe fate wasn't done with him yet. Maybe saving that girl years ago had led him right here, to the moment his entire life was finally about to change.